Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. Today we have from A&E. You can't turn that into a house. It seems like a dare. This is a series from 2017. It's only one season. It's 14 episodes, and they're all about 21 minutes long each. And so yeah, it's another fixer-upper type of house flipper type of show, reality series, with a bit of a twist. It features two brothers and their best friend Kyle, which really sounds like the pitch for just about any show on the WB in the 90s. Like this. But there's werewolves or something. Like, throw that on top of it. But no, there's no werewolves. There is... Or Bigfoot. There is just rundown, dilapidated, or just really odd spaces out in a field somewhere, usually, that need to be... they don't need to be, but they are given the challenge of changing into some kind of livable space. In the only episode I watched, the very first episode, they basically had a big, gigantic, white, rusty tank, like an empty tank. I guess you would store... I don't think it was a septic tank, but it was certainly a kind of just a big, empty, barrel-shaped thing. And one of the two brothers, or one of them, they had another relative, and they had some land out in the country outside of Kansas City. They said, "Hey, we want an outdoor place. We got a new toddler. Let's just give him a place to play." Apparently inside a rusty barrel. Now, most of these, they do a little... Dogs are barking. They do a little montage of what you'll see in episodes coming up in the very first episode. So you see, it's like a pair of just broken down buses. Like, I hope they gutted them. Just sort of sitting out in the field. And there's just other either vehicles or... Again, it's a lot of dilapidation, and you got to make it pretty. And usually it involves adding a deck. So it seems, from what I could see in a very short montage, it just seemed like, okay, clean it up, add glass, and then put some really nice interior, accents, and put a deck out front. And that makes you go, hey, I don't have to spend the entire time inside this giant tube, which is lovely. But you can also just sit out in the nature and there's a fire pit, and yeah, it's repurposing. That's what it is. It's repurposing with the materials you have on hand, but also adding a bunch of other stuff. And of course, it has that I find it an annoying trope, and it only because I realize they do it because it creates a sense of urgency where you're like, can they do it? Because the sense of urgency is like, oh, we got to get this done in 5 days because Joe wants to come out here and do hunting from his new luxury condo in the woods. Like, we live in downtown Kansas City, but we want to come out here and go hunting. Okay. I really worry about somebody who's out there hunting and a stray shot, which, again, they're in the middle of the woods. Can you imagine when you have something that is mirrored glass on one side and on the other side, and an open area on the side that is also glass, somebody's going to take a shot at a deer, and they're just going to go, bam, oh, wait, shattered the glass. And it's not easy to replace that. They had a hard enough time getting it in there in the first place when somebody miscalculated the measurements or something. Yeah. So a lot of it was done through... It was improved through mistakes, and also it was a constant battle against the weather. This is why most of those fixer-upper shows are done in California, which generally has flawless weather most of the year. So, But in this case, that was part of the charm. Again, there's a challenge. It's not just time. Oh, we got to get this done in 5 days. Well, of course, there's the weather. There's a tornado happening, or the mud is 8 feet deep, or the materials are wrong, and the measurements are wrong, and the people who they're making it for, they're like, hey, wouldn't it be great to have a fire pit? And they're like, with all everything else, they're a day away from finish. They need to get it finished, but it looks like they've done nothing. It's like barely anything. There's just tarp over everything. They do that to make it look that much worse. But apparently, 18 hours later or less of nonstop work with probably more people than they have on camera. I've seen. Remember the old show with Move That Bus? Much of that was BS. There was not just a crew that redid those houses. They asked people locally from my neighborhood to one of those houses. It was like a mile or so down the road. Like, hey, anybody know how to swing a hammer? Come on in. We'll let you help us build a house for free. We give you lemonade and sandwiches, maybe, and then you can finish it up after the show airs. Because it just wasn't enough people. So they shot around all the unfinished parts, but it looked like it was finished. How this is done in 5 days, or the majority of the work that is aesthetically pleasing, how that was done in 5 days, I don't believe it. But maybe they did. I don't know. It's really, I don't know. It's the magic of television, of reality TV. I hate it so much. But the guys are Timur and Rehan Nana, and Kyle Davis is their buddy, and they get it done with a crew that does a lot of welding and a lot of cutting of metal, and then still leaving the rust in place. I hope there was some kind of treatment to maybe keep that rusty look, but keep it from being touchable, like treat it in a way so that this baby doesn't decide to go, rust. That just seems like a bad idea. Like, fortify it so it doesn't eventually collapse in on itself eventually. I realize it's a circle, so it's less likely to, but I don't know. Anyway, by the way, if you're watching this, I am not obviously filming it right now. I'm at D23 Expo in Anaheim, California. Yeah, so I say hi if you're there, or if you see me in somebody else's videos, or maybe in mine. Just say hi. Well, you can do it in the comments, but I mean, like, physically right there in person. Hi. Anyway, let's pick tomorrow's episode. No, you need to change the number. No. This is the best time for this to fail. All right, I'm gonna restart it. It's pretty random. I guess this is the name of the makers of the app. Let's see what we got. No! What a perfect time for this to fail. I'm going to do something I don't normally do, and I'm going to pause this. I always say no edits, but I've got to figure this out. So I'll be back in much less time than it will be for me. Okay, all I did was reboot the tablet. No! That's not how it works. Last time I had to reset the entire thing and do a reset of the entire account. And I don't want to do that. I still got two months of, or 1 month. No, okay, yeah, 1 month. I don't know. What? Now this is acting up. Apple, whatever you're doing right now, please stop. Yes, I'm using Apple devices. This is not a product placement thing, because it's not. I'm not making them look good, and they're not making me look good. Okay, I'll pause you one more time. This is against my rules, but I've changed one more setting. All right, I've made some changes. Not that you really care, but I'm trying to be honest in how I do this. And, it will give me nothing but 0. I might have to fully reset, so I'm going to step away even longer, reset my entire list, taking out all the old stuff I've already watched with the remaining list of whatever's left, and then we'll see if this will help me pick things after I reset the whole list. Be right back in a second for you. Okay, I think I've got it figured out now. I've whittled it down after taking out all the stuff we've already watched in this quarter, even though we have the rest of August and September to go before we reset the list, possibly one final time in October. We got an extra reset, and we have 52 items currently left on this list that I have not yet watched on Disney Plus. I have not added in the stuff that I'm planning to add in October, because there's obviously new stuff coming in July, August, September. I'm going to add those then. It's going to take us through November. I know that much for sure, and we'll talk about that later, but I think I got this working. This now runs from the number 1 to 52. What do we got? There we go. 23. And I don't know what these numbers represent. So I am, by the way, now on version 25.2, number 23. Oh, I often say that we have no redundancies. Well, when it comes to these documentaries, even though we have a lot of documentaries and reality shows in this red, see how much red there is in these red categories? Well, there's a lot of reality shows added to Disney Plus recently, and from other networks like Discovery, History, A&E, Lifetime, things like that. And even though their owners and owners of owners might also own those stations, I realize we're really whittling down to stuff that isn't really Disney-esque. So I'm keeping to my word. I'm trying to watch everything that I can up to a point where I cannot watch something every day on Disney Plus. It's part of the struggle. But number 23, just like we had with this here, this is a house, flipping kind of thing. This one I imagine might be something similar, unless it's like an outdoorsy rescue kind of thing. We'll find out when we watch Homestead Rescue. So yeah, number 23 is Homestead Rescue. It took a while, but we finally got there. Homestead Rescue is what we're watching next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I hope things go a little bit smoother tomorrow.